Hi, I'm Bob, and welcome to Between the Sheets, where we look at Microsoft Excel and related technologies. If you have a large worksheet that's several screens wide or several screens tall, it's easy to lose track of what all the columns are when you scroll to the right or scroll down. The headers quickly scroll out of view. The good news is Excel has a couple of ways to prevent this from happening. So let's take a look, see how it works. Let's identify the problem first. We've got a pretty big worksheet here, and you can see that this is sales by quarter for 5 years, and here's the first year 1, and I'm just going to start scrolling over to the right, and you can see year 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then a grand total, and immediately we lose track of what the rows are. Who knows what products these are? Let's go back to column A, and in column A we've got all of the products, and when we go down there, if we have column A visible, we see what the products are, but who knows what these columns are? And you can start counting. Sure, this is in the first year, quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4, and there's the year total, but then it gets to be a mess, and especially, let's say, if we scroll down and then start scrolling to the right, and we see all this, who knows what's what? So this is why locking the panes is really handy. So let's go all the way back to the upper left. As I said, there's a couple of ways of doing it, and let me show you by splitting first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the View tab on the ribbon bar, and in the Window group, I'm going to click Split. And you see what that does? That puts a little gray bar across there, and you can see on the right we have two sets of scroll bars. And one thing I could do, if I don't really need to see all the header stuff there, I can scroll this up a little bit, then I can take this gray bar, drag it up there, and now I can scroll these independently. So I can scroll down, so as I scroll to the bottom I can see all that, but there is a little minor problem because this top row isn't fixed, and you could accidentally scroll that out of view. So if that happens, or if you're afraid of that happening, what you do in the same area, you go to Freeze Panes, and then from the drop-down choose Freeze Panes. Notice that when I do that, there's now only one vertical scroll bar. So I can see what's going on there. But when I go to the right, we still have the problem that we can't see those column headers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unfreeze the panes. Now we still have that split. The problem is we need a vertical split. Now I don't see a vertical split. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up there, turn split off so we're back to normal, and I'm just going to click somewhere in the middle of the worksheet. Now I click split again, and you see what happens because I've clicked in the middle of the worksheet, I now have a horizontal split and a vertical split. So I can, once again, drag the horizontal one up to the top, and I'm going to take this vertical split and drag it to the left so it's between column A and B. And now I'm going to go back to Freeze Panes, and from the drop-down choose Freeze Panes. So now I can scroll down, and I'm not losing track of what those columns are, and I can scroll to the right, and I'm not losing track of what those columns are. So I could go all the way down. Thing tends to jump around. I could go all the way down to the lower right corner of this big worksheet, and I can still see what's what. If I want to put this back to normal so that I don't have it split again, I don't even have to unfreeze panes. I could just turn the split off. You notice it's highlighted. I could just click it to turn it off, and now we're back to where it was and getting lost. So there is another way that you might want to do. Let me scroll here so that row 5 is at the top, and I'm not going to split. I'm going to go over here to where it says Freeze Panes, and I'm going to choose Freeze Top Row. So I don't have to bother with the split. And when I go back to Freeze Panes and choose Freeze First Column, now I don't lose track of the columns. The problem is that you notice you could either freeze top row or first column. It doesn't let you do both. I'm not really sure why they have that in there. So sometimes you might want to freeze only the top row. Sometimes you might want to freeze only the first column. And that's where these items come in handy. But if you want to do both, then you need to split and then freeze the panes. So this is a really great feature when you have a big worksheet. If you ever need to do this in a version of Excel that's earlier than the 2019 version, you might notice a couple of minor differences, but you shouldn't have any trouble using it. So until next time, my name is Bob, and this has been Between the Sheets.